Welcome to today's live. Hey, buddy, it's Mohammed. Let me know in the comments below what you've been up to this weekend, what you did for fun, what you got planned for the rest of this week. If you're watching this live today, it's just coming up to 5 p.m. So put in the comments below live. And if you're watching this in the replay, then put in the comments below #replay. If this is your first video content of mine that you see, and then put in the comments below newbie. So the aim of today's live is I'm going to be sharing with you some of my favorite books and authors and how they made a massive difference to my life and why you should check them out. So also, because I'm using Restream, I can't see the comments. So I will be looking on my phone just to see if anyone's commented, just so I can stay engaged and interact with my audience. Otherwise, that'd be the reason why I'm looking at my phone. All right, so let's dive straight into the content. So one of my first book that I really like is Russell Brand's Recovery from Our Addictions. Now, the reason why I love this book is I know that a lot of people aren't the biggest fan of Russell Brand, but for me, I love the fact the way he looks at this book because he's had a lot of issues around addictions and he's overcome his addictions. And in this book, he explains to you what the kind of addictions we have, how a lot of our addictions can be subconscious, that we don't know where we're having these addictions, and how we can have awareness of our addictions, break free from them, and start rebuilding our lives. So I really love this book because he looks at addictions in a different light. So this book opened my eyes to potential subconscious addictions. So these could be addictions such as knowing that I'm constantly looking at my phone. I'm addicted to my phone. I'm constantly looking at my phone and not being conscious of the fact that how much time I spent on my phone. So it allowed me to have that awareness of that potential addiction. And also it allowed me to learn about how to take responsibility for my past and my actions. So it's easy for us to sit here and blame everyone else or blame society, blame anything external, rather than actually saying, look, my life is how my life has turned out because of my actions and what I've done in the past. So it's no one else's fault, it's down to me, and take responsibility. Because when you can start taking responsibility for it, you start to own the addiction and you start to allow yourself to have that, recover from the addiction. So I also gained awareness of the patterns that are blocking me. Sorry for the typo there. So obviously there are patterns that, that I have, for example, that were blocking me from having the success I wanted and overcome my addictions. So it was having the awareness of that again, which I love the book for doing that. And I think the powerful thing here, the book also shows you how to make amends for people you've wronged. So we've all done this, whether you've wronged an ex-partner, a friend or a colleague, a family member. So at time to time, somewhere in our life, we've wronged someone. And so in this book, it shows to you, how you can go about making amends. And the making amends is not to, win the other person over. It's more in the case of setting yourself free. So take responsibility for your actions, your behaviors, how it impacted other people, and then setting yourself free by making amends for it. Because then, for example, if you were hit by a bus, you can go to heaven knowing that you made amends. Whether the other person reaches out to make amends to or not is irrelevant. It's all about setting yourself free, and that's what I love about this book. It helps you to win your authentic being. And also, if you haven't done 12 steps, like the way Russell Brand's done his book is based on the 12-step step. And 12 steps is basically like a recovery program. So you can have recovery from alcohol, from codependency, from overweight. There's so many different kind of, programs out there. And so I love how he breaks it down based on the 12 steps. And so it gives you an understanding of how to do 12 steps and how to go about using 12 steps to recover from addictions. And I also love how it helps you to create a new perspective. So for this book, once you've cleared your negative patterns and you take responsibility and made amends, then you've got the space now to start creating a new chapter, create new beliefs, new habits, and so it helps you have that whole new perspective. So I really enjoyed this book. So if you are struggling with addiction, I definitely recommend that you check out Russell Brand's book. Because you'll definitely find it really beneficial. The next author is a lady called Isabel Losada, and I followed Isabel for quite a while now, and because I'm very big on spiritual and sexuality, and Isabel, she's a really good writer. She's wrote quite a few books now, and this book she wrote is called Sensation. Um, really opened my eyes around sexuality, and it taught me a lot of things that I wasn't aware of. And in the book, she said as well, though it's a book about sex, it's not sex in the traditional way. So it's not how you think sex is. She's more looking about how to open up your sex, how to understand your sex, how to have responsibility, how to learn about the different practices out there that can help deal with sexual trauma or blockages and stuff. So she's looking at it from that side. So what I like about this book as well is she's traveling around the world learning different practices, and she's also got her husband with her. So she shares in the book his viewpoint from a man's perspective of these practices. So you get two different perspectives. You get the female from her and the male from him. So it's really enriched in terms of understanding how different practices work from different genders and different people. And also, so the aim of the book is basically to share how you can have a better sex life. So this is really good if you're in a relationship or you're single, if your relationship's lacking intimacy, how to get that intimacy back in the relationship. I love how it's all because sex is still a taboo topic, and she brings humor and curiosity and honesty to the subject of sexuality and pleasure. So for me, this is a really good book. So I definitely recommend people again to read this book. It's one of my favorites. The next author is a lady called Eva Pierrakos. I think that's how you pronounce. And she looks at about relationship dynamics. And so she wrote a book with a lady called Judith Sully called The Creation of Union, and it's a pathway of relationships. So what this book was basically looking at is looking at why relationships break down and how you can go about overcoming those issues and creating a relationship that unites the masculine and the feminine. So this book, really provides deep insights into the meaning of inevitable relationship difficulties and guides us into resolving this. So if your relationship's struggling right now, or you're lacking intimacy, or it's lost that sparkle, then this book was really good for you, and it'll really help you in terms of resolving your relationship problems. So it also explores the worlds of masculinity and feminism. So especially in a world now where there's a polarization between men and women because of the Me Too movement, or there's all that distrust. So this book looks at how the masculine and feminine. So and what she means about masculine and feminine, she doesn't mean is in man and woman. It's more the energies of masculine and feminine, because everyone has masculine and feminine inside them. And what she looks at is how masculine and feminine plays out within our own body, and also how it plays out in terms of society. So in that sense, she associates women with the feminine and men with the masculine, and speaks about how they both need each other. So they need the union to come together because they can't survive without the other one. And she talks about how you can go about doing that, how you can build the trust and the work that a masculine needs to do and the feminine needs to do. So there's a lot on toxic masculinity, toxic feminism, also positive masculinity and positive feminism. So it's really good if you want to learn more about that. So for me, I learned, again, like I mentioned here, how the masculine and feminine need each other to coexist. So even inside myself, how, I need my feminine and masculine to coexist. So I need my feminine, which is like my power, my desire, my creativity, to coexist with masculine, which is more like my rational side, my logical side. So without the two of them, I wouldn't be able to operate effectively. And so it also helps me to realize, for example, however you're treating your masculine, if you're a woman, is how you treat men. So there's a lot of distrust for your masculine, then there'll be a lot of distrust for men. And the same for men. If you're treating your feminine side with a lack of trust and you're not treating it good, then you're also going to treat women that way. So it's really good insights. So this book really helped me as a man to have a better relationship with my feminine and my masculine, because I'm now able to understand more how they play together and create union between the two of them. So it brings me more harmony, more peace, more clarity. And I'm also now able to then see, okay, well, if I'm lying to myself, lying to my feminine a lot, then I notice that I'm lying to women a lot. So I notice, okay, there's a relation there. So it's allowed me to have better relationships with both men and women as well. So I would recommend this book if you're really looking into understanding about relationships and masculinity and feminism. So, for me, it's a really good book. Another one of my favorite books is from two authors called Marcus Anthony Hunter and Sandra Robertson. Now, the reason why I love this book is because, recently I've been trying to understand more about Black history, and really understand, about the difference Black history is not only in America but also in Africa. And so when I was given this book last summer, and it really blew my mind because it's basically called Chocolate Cities, and it basically explores African Americans in the history of them in America and the cities they built. So it gives a really good insight into the history of Black American culture, and it provides an accurate Black map that reflects the lived experiences and the future of Black life in America. So it really gives you an in-depth understanding of what was life like for Black people historically, how they've grown, how Black culture is thriving, and how how Black people are evolving in America. So, and also looks at the great Black cities built and how their thriving Black culture is maintained. So it really gives an insight into understanding, the different cities that were built that were, that by Black people, and really gives you an understanding of American history that you might not have been aware of. I certainly wasn't aware of a lot of this information I learned before I read this book. So this book, like I said, really helped me understand African American culture and the struggle that Blacks have gone through there and still go through now. So if you are willing to, you want to learn more about Black history based in America, this is a really good book. So I definitely recommend this. And one of my favorite authors is a guy called T.D. Jakes, and he's one of the most renowned motivational speakers in America. And he wrote the book called Instinct. And in this book, he explores, how to create a powerful self-drive within us. So what he says about is that we all have a massive elephant inside us, but the problem is a lot of us, are blocked by negative thoughts, negative beliefs, negative emotions. And so instead of being this powerful elephant, we end up being the mouse that's scared, the elephant that's scared of the little mouse, and we end up panicking. So and we have to learn how to create this powerful self-drive within us. So, this book helped me realize I was meant for so much more, that I have a lot of power and I have a lot of drive and I can accomplish big things in life. And it taught me to live by instinct and unleash my authentic self. So, when you start having a powerful self-drive within you, and you start living a life full of purpose and based on your values and beliefs, then, you start to unleash your authentic self, and you start to get into a flow where you actually are able to base things based on your instinct. So it also allowed me to help me understand how to remove dated patterns out of my life. So anything like negative thinking, negative beliefs, negative emotions, how to recognize them, have the awareness of them, and then remove them from my life, and then replace those with positive beliefs, positive emotions, and positive thinking. So this book is really good if you want to rediscover your purpose, get some self-drive, and increase your confidence, and start living a life full of meaning. So those are my favorite books and some of my favorite authors. So I definitely recommend you check them out. Now, if you enjoyed today's live, then put in the comments below top stuff. If you stay to the end and you're an A player, then put in the comments below A player. And I want you to tell me one thing that you took away from today's live that you can implement straight away. So if there's a book you can read from my list that you implement, put in the comments below what you're going to implement and the results you have from it. If you want a copy of the slides, I'll put a link in the comments below so you get a copy. As always, share this with your friends, your families, and your colleagues, because by doing that, you're going to add lots of value to their lives and allow them to grow. And I'm also going to be doing another video tomorrow around 5 p.m. So check that out again. Otherwise, thanks everybody for being on today's live. We'll catch up soon, and take care, and bye-bye. So check that out again. Otherwise, thanks